because of the background of the people doing the recruiting at Bluebird, coming from sales and sales leadership, it meant better candidates. Hello, my name is Brian Levin. I'm based in Boston. I am the Chief Customer Officer at Panaseer with responsibility for strategy over go-to-market, sales, marketing, and customer success.
Hi, I'm Neil Hooper. I live in New Jersey, and I was recently assisted by Bluebird to fill the role of VP of Sales for Panaseer.
I dealt with a mix of different recruiters and different quality of recruiters prior to working with Bluebird. It was some of them more aggressive, doing cold outreach to me as a hiring manager with candidates, others that I had worked with that came through referrals and networks. But Bluebird was a differentiated recruiting agency based primarily on the background of the people running and doing the recruiting. What stood out to me about Bluebird was clear in my initial interactions with Michael and Ash. They came from sales backgrounds, and that was a profile I had never seen in a recruiter before. It meant that they better understood the profile, they better understood the candidates, and they could do a better kind of initial screen of candidates that they were meeting with because they had themselves been salespeople or salespeople or sales managers and leaders in the past. And as a result of that, they better understood what I was looking for.
I found that really helpful as well. Mikhail reached out to me over LinkedIn, and it was an unsolicited call in, but it was really specific and it resonated really well with the types of things I was looking for, and making sure it was a good fit for me as well as a good fit for Panaseer.
It was clear they were recruiting from a peer perspective, that they could talk to potential sales leaders to come join Panaseer as if they truly understood what being a sales leader was and what the organization needed in a sales leader because they had done it before.
I found Bluebird to be really responsive to my needs. I thought their efficiency was excellent. When you're running a global sales program, you quite frankly don't have a lot of time for recruiters. So it's important that the dialogue is specific and concise and to the point, and is relevant to me as a potential candidate. And my experience with Bluebird was top notch on all of those factors.
Bluebird was able to quickly understand my requirements and help with some modifications to the original job description that they felt, having previously served in the field of sales, would better attract candidates that I was looking for. Across a couple of 1 or 2 interviews with Ash and Michael, we were able to sort through what those requirements looked like, and then they were off and running, starting to source candidates. We had some check-ins as I did early interviews with candidates to reaffirm what were good matches for my requirements and some adjustments that I wanted to make to the candidate pool. But I know they were screening dozens of candidates for the handful that I ended up speaking to and narrowing down my pool. In the recruiting process, I was really looking for strong experience in B2B sales with a specific focus in cybersecurity. This brings in a fairly narrow pool of potential candidates right from the start. To build on that background and experience, I wanted to make sure that the person had a balance of strategy and execution. What we needed at our stage of growth was someone who was willing to roll up their sleeves and involve themselves in the execution of the specific opportunities, while also helping to inform our messaging, helping to inform our go-to-market strategy and align across sales and marketing. Additionally, I wanted a strong coach for the sales team that I had, someone I knew could mentor the talent that we already had here, And finally, that could bring a strong methodology to help us qualify deals early in the sales process and better forecast.
It's interesting to hear that description because that's exactly the type of thing that I was looking for. You know, the engagement with Bluebird was meaningful for me because it was transparent. They shared the types of things that Brian and the team from Panaseer was looking for. And as a candidate, it's important that, you know, there's a match for career and company and in fact the people that you would be working for and with.
One of the things I was able to rely on with Bluebird more so than other recruiters was their coaching and expertise through the qualification process. In the end, we came down to a handful of qualified candidates, but ultimately, I was able to combine my expertise in go-to-market leadership with their experience in sales and sales leadership to further qualify and get down to our final choice of candidate. And that's not something that most recruiters can do. They specialize at the front end of the process and have less support and knowledge in the final decision making. Here, it felt like I benefited from multiple experienced sales leaders qualifying our final candidates.
I would definitely recommend working with Bluebird. They were laser focused and specific. They didn't waste any time. They were sure to evaluate the fit. Speaking from a candidate's perspective, the fit personally for me, the types of things that would be meaningful for me in making a move in my career. And I thought the Bluebird team was educated on that process, and we're quite frankly a great team to work with.
I would certainly recommend Bluebird. It's great to have Neil here. We found our perfect candidate, and I think the difference with Bluebird was clear. Because of the background of the people doing the recruiting at Bluebird, coming from sales and sales leadership, it meant better candidates. They recruited from a peer perspective and they spoke the candidate's language. It meant better qualification. They could screen former sales leaders from the perspective of a former sales leader. And it also meant a better close when it came time to get Neil over the line and join Panaseer. They could talk about the quality of the opportunity that we had for a sales leader at Panaseer, and ultimately they helped us close Neil and bring him on board.